Hi, thank you for tuning in to the Patricia Show. Please push subscribe, share, and like. I was gonna give you a money technique today. I'll put an extra audio on here and drop it down tomorrow or Monday because I really wanted to talk to you about karmas. A lot of you, or some of you, um, well, I'm just not going to say some of you, but some people, they don't believe in reincarnation. But just because you don't believe in it, it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. So the way our lives go is that you come every time you reincarnate into this life, you're coming from karmas. You're coming to balance the karmas that you did in previous lifetimes. When you balance 51% of all of the karmas you've had since you come reincarnated back to earth, you're free. You're free off the wheel of reincarnation, and you don't ever have to come back to earth again unless you choose to come back. And then the other part of it is that you become a master of your world because you basically have mastered the energy in your world over many, 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 many lifetimes. Now, what is karmas? Karmas is when you do something that unbalances your energy or unbalance the energy around you. That's probably a good way to explain. So let me give you an example. Okay, let's say you first reincarnate on Earth, your first life. Okay, you don't have any karmas. You're full of loving, and you're not selfish. You just full of love. Okay, so you come to this Earth and you don't have any karmas. Now, in that first lifetime, you're doing things that's creating karma. So let's say, you murdered. Like, this is your first lifetime. You're full of love and everything, but something happens, and you murder your husband or your wife. So once you committed that murder, that's a karma. Okay? That's drastic to say murder, but I want to show you, what I mean. Okay. So then when you commit that murder, you go to jail for it, and then, you're released from prison. This is still the first lifetime because you were caught, you went to jail, and so you're out of jail. Now you're going on with your life, okay? Let's say you marry a second time when you get out of jail. No, not married. Let's say you meet somebody the second time when you get out of jail. And then when you meet somebody, this person, they're already married. But you love them, or, you're dating them, you get so involved with them, and you seeing them. You start dating them knowing this person is married. And you start doing things. Let's say you're a woman. And so you start doing things to make his wife jealous. Like, you'll call to the house and say, I'm sending your man home. He just left my house and I'm sending him home. Right there, you're creating a karma again. Because you're causing pain to someone else. So you're committing another karma. Now, let's say that the bottom line is you and him decide to be together, and he leaves his wife, and then you and him are together. And when you get with him, living with him, you're a woman in that lifetime. This is still your first lifetime. When you're living with him, you just become agitated or frustrated with him after you've been married for a while, and you start treating him mean. and you're not cooking for them, you're not doing anything, you're not cooperative, you start seeing a lover on the side and you're just not treating him right. You're creating another karma. Because why? You're bringing pain to someone else's life. Now, after that, you don't want to, you've already committed one murder in this life. So you had said you're not going back to jail, so you don't want to do that. So now how can you get this man out of your life? You go to a voodoo priestess. Again, these are extreme, but I want to explain how you're creating these karmas. You go to a voodoo priestess, and you have him, a curse put on him, or that way, so that he'll leave you alone and never, I think they call it a banishing curse, where he'll leave you alone and never bother you again. So you have this curse put on him. But this man loves you. So again, you're bringing him pain, number one. Number two, you're making somebody do something they don't want to do. So you're creating another karma. So he leaves you and go on off, and you never hear about him anymore in this lifetime. Okay? You get sick and die. So all of those karmas that I just mentioned, you created those in one lifetime, right? So then the next time when you reincarnate, you have to balance those karmas. What do I mean by balance those karmas? You have to learn. Karmas are like lessons that you have to learn not to do that anymore, or learn why you shouldn't do that, or why you have to learn the lesson. So the second lifetime you're going to be put in a situation that the same thing happens to you. The karmas that you have from the first life, all the ones I just named, the same thing is going to happen to you in the second life. Because now you came to the second life and you need to learn from your mistakes. So now you're going to be put in the same situation so that you can learn from your mistake. But as the life continue, this is the second life, you're continuously creating more karmas. So now, at the end of the second karma, you never did get a chance to complete the first life's lessons. You never did get a chance to learn that. Because when you were put in a position to learn that, you instead continue to create more karmas. So now this is your third life coming up, and you have the first life and the second life karmas. Okay? Then the third life come up, okay? Let's just say that in the third life, you were able to complete just one of the karmas from the first life. You complete one of the karmas from there, but that was it in this third life. In the third life, you were very selfish. You didn't think about anybody but yourself. You didn't care who you hurt. Everything you did you felt was about you. Extremely narcissistic. So now, you're in the third life. So now you have you only took care of one karma, which was in the first life. So now you have karmas from the first, second, and third life. At the end of that third life, you're coming into the fourth life. What is it? You have karmas from the first, second, and third life. Because let's say you only completed like one or two, or learned lessons from the one or two. Well, let's keep it at one so you won't get confused. Let's just say one. So now you're coming into the fourth life. You have one lessons from first, second, third life. You're coming into the fourth life. So now imagine when you're going through many, 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 many lifetimes. I don't even know how many lifetimes, we actually have, but it's a lot of many, many lifetimes. And so then you get to the point. So through these many lifetimes, some of the karmas you are balancing, or you're learning from, but some of them are still there. So now you go through all these different lives and you become very spiritual. And then you realize some of the things you did, but you don't remember, because when we come into another life, everything is, is like shed off from us. We don't really remember. But you do realize, or you're noticing things, or internally, I should say, you're learning, or on an unconscious level, which you don't really know what's going on, but you deep inside on a soul level, you really are learning from the karmas that you had done in all your previous lifetimes. So now you become very spiritual. You're going through all these different lifetimes. Now you come to the end, which means this is your last lifetime. What do you have to do? You have to balance 51% of those total karmas that you have committed. So let's just say, I'm just hypothetically saying, you have committed 10,000 karmas. I'm just saying that. 10,000 karmas you have that are unresolved. So when you get in this last lifetime, you have to transmute 51% of that, of those karmas. Let's say you're in this last life, you're very spiritual. That, it's a last life, a lot of things you've learned. And you don't really know it's your last time because, again, things are hidden from us. But you feel like this is your last lifetime. So now you can, there's some type of way you can make the ability or have the ability to choose that this is going to be your last life. Or you might say, I'm having a really difficult time transmuting these, so I want one more lifetime. So then that next lifetime you'll come, but you'll probably pass on at a very young age because you came back the one prior should have been your last life, but you're coming back one more life to really complete everything. So you came back one last time to complete everything. You did it when you were young. You were able to complete everything. So by the time you were 21, everything was completed. So you'll probably die of a young age. But let's say that you don't, and then you won't have to come back here because you will have completed all these karmas. But let's say you don't choose to do the additional life and this is your last life. What do you need to do? Transmute those karmas in that lifetime. When you have transmuted 51%, you're free. So now, when you get to the position where you're transmuting these karmas, things are going to be happening to you that seems like it's out of your control. That's what it seems like. Maybe something you're just faced with a lot of problems. I don't want to use the word problems, but a lot of challenges. And you don't know how to get yourself out of them. Let's say that. You don't even know why they're there. So I'm here to tell you that all of those challenges are there because all of these karmas have been released and now it's up to you to transmute them. When you have transmuted 51% of those karmas, all of a sudden, whatever challenges you're going through with your life, whatever's going on that's hard, they will automatically stop without any effort from you. Because why? Because the karmas are now complete. So all of the challenges or the problems that you were having will now just go away like magic. It'll seem like magic anyway. Why? Because the karmas are balanced. And everything around you, the energy, karma is energy. Those energies around you are balanced. And you have learned everything that was left for you to learn. And all of a sudden, you'll just become free. So I hope you understand what karmas are. I'm going to make another tape on this because this is fixing to cut off because I want to tell you how to transmute those karmas. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Patricia Show. Please push subscribe, like, and share.